Great. Okay. It's a beautiful day. All right, so welcome. I'm so excited to be at the start of your day today, which is it's exciting. I'm really happy to be here. And yeah, before let's yeah, where is everybody tuning in from? Feel free to let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. I am just north of Toronto. Okay, we've got a selection. So we've got a couple people who it's 9 a.m. for, so good morning to you, and a couple people like me where it's noon. So great. All right, I am going to share my screen. Here's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a bit of a meet and greet. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the kind of stuff that I do. I'm going to show you something really cool. We're going to do the reveal for my monthly club, which nobody's seen before yet. So you'll get to be the first to see it, which is exciting. Then I'll talk about the best ways to find out what I do and where you can see more of what I do. And then we'll do kind of like a shop tour at the end. And you can kind of get an inside look and get some insider tips and tricks for viewing my shop. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. Once I find the right menu for that. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay. Present. Great. All right. So if you have any questions at any time, please put them into the chat. I am more than happy to answer them. Feel free to ask questions anytime. Yeah. Welcome. For those who are just joining us, welcome. All right. So my name is Emily. I dye yarn and fiber. I come from a love of color. And that's just so what I do is I try and create a curated palette of colorways that coordinate with each other really well so that you can feel empowered to mix and match them together into all kinds of different things. So most of what I do is dye yarn. I try and source a variety of both superwash and non-superwash bases in stash staples so you can find something ideal for the project that you want to make. I've also, from April of this year, I've started offering a hand-dyed fiber. And so I'll show you a little bit of both. This is just a small selection of some of the colorways that I've added to my core collection. So my core collection is what I affectionately like to call it. It's most easily found at my stockists. So I work with a selection of yarn stores from coast to coast who carry across all of the stores that carry my yarn. They have them in every single base on every single colorway. And so that's definitely the place to go if you're looking for something super, super specific. I have stuff on my website too, but my website tends to be more limited edition items and stuff like that. But this is my synopsis of color. This is what I like. This is just every colorway that's pictured here. It spends months in development, being tested, and then eventually makes its way into that kind of core collection that what I view as kind of a body of work of colors that are designed to go together so that you can pick and choose and mix and match and create something really beautiful. So like I said, these are most easily found from my stockist website, but they're also available on mine periodically. And we'll talk more about my shop later. So these are some of the fiber. I've also been dyeing fiber. A lot of the fiber that I dye is in repeatable colorways, and it's all hand painted. So these three are all gradients, but you got to get that shifting and moving of color throughout. Yeah, that's a little bit of what I do. So something that I do when I'm working with yarns, I dye exclusively with what's called a limited palette. So I work mostly with 5 different colors of dye, and then every single color that I create, every single colorway that I dye is a mixture of those 5 colorways, or 5 colors of base colors of dye. So everything is mixed. And for me, I come from a background as a painter and a background in fine art. And for me, dyeing yarn is like mixing paint all day long. It's just, I get to experiment and play, and I get to share these things with you and see all of the things that you're inspired to create. And that's absolutely one of the most rewarding things about dyeing yarn, is seeing what you create with it. So what's on the screen here is, this is these are the mini skeins from a monthly club that I do. So I do a monthly club called Luck of the Draw, and it's a mystery mini skein club for the color loving adventurous knitter or adventurous crafter. And so you are going to be the first people to see the reveal for October's club. So these are mini skeins that were already sent out and have already arrived at their homes. But I will also show you the mood board for November in a little bit as well. So this is the reveal. I figured it would be cool to show you that and get an extra special first look at something that nobody else has seen yet. So these were the colors for October. I'm going to pop by, that's the mood board. So each month has its own mood board with some color inspiration so that you get kind of an idea of what those colors might be. So you'll see that's the mood board. Those are those colors from this past month, from October, dyed and sent out. All of the club colors for Luck of the Draw are always non-repeatable, exclusive to the club. Getting them in the club pre-order is the only way to get these colors. And it's a color study. So it's just, there's something really special and unique about it. So over here on the right is the mood board for November. So you'll be able to find this product on my website. Pre-orders typically open on the 1st of every month. I've opened them early just for you, so that if it's something that you're interested in, it's available right now. You can get it before anybody else is able to, which is exciting. So the other thing that's really special about Luck of the Draw is that it includes shipping. So it ships via untracked vacuum packed letter mail, and that's included in the cost of it. So if you order it alongside other ready to ship items, everything else in my shop is ready to ship except for Luck of the Draw. If you order this and something else, this will ship separately by the 20th of November, and everything else will ship this week. So we've got October's reveal, we've got November's mood board. November is going to be this kind of shift in cool grays and cool icy blues and maybe a little bit of green in there. I'm quite excited for it. I hope you are too. So I also do a quarterly Fibre club. So I'm going to start from the get-go. This club, the next installment of it is going to be available in January, but there was an installment in October, and I thought it would be really cool for you to be the first people to see what that looks like, and just to get a kind of an idea of how I work with color and some of the color themes that you might see pop up on my website too. So these were the colors for the Fibre Club. The Fibre Club is called Good Things Come in Threes, and it features 3 different braids of the same base every quarter. So there's been a July quarter so far and an October one, and then the next one will be in January. This was the mood board for October, and the base was a Shetland and silk. It was, I think it's 70% gray Shetland and 30% silk. So I try and source some unique bases for it. I don't know what the base will be for January yet, but if you have any requests for it, the best way to tell me is through my Discord group. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about that in a second. So far, does anybody have any questions? Because if you do, please pop them into the chat. I can take a second to answer those. Okay, so again, 2 clubs that I offer right now. One of them is Luck of the Draw. Pre-orders for it are open now early just for you. It's available on either Merino Sock or Merino Sport mini skeins. You get 5 in that month, and it includes shipping. I don't have a photo of the July Good Things in Threes Club in this presentation, Janet. I can try and pull up a photo for you later. There is a spot on my website where you can view all previous months of Luck of the Draw minis, and I will show you those in a second too. So Good Things Coming 3, Fibre Club, you get 3 braids every quarter, and the next one is in January. What you're looking at on the screen right now is October's reveal. So it's quite special. It's quite intensive to put together, and it's seeing it go from idea to that process to seeing the projects that people create with it. It's really great for making combo spins, or for using making individual projects with individual skeins if you're a spinner. So yeah, it's a fun one. The best way, why is that not? Yeah, okay. The best way, if you want to know when the Fibre Club goes live in January, the best way to find me, the best way to keep tabs on that is to join the Discord group. So Discord is, I like to think of it as kind of like a substitute for a Ravelry group or like a Ravelry forum. Kind of works in the same way, but I find it to be a little bit more easier to navigate. So I'm going to give you a quick little tour. Inside this server, I'll show you how to sign up for it in a second. Inside here, there are different categories. So I have a category that's just for studio updates. There's one that's called Crafting Circle that has channels. Okay, so channels are the little hashtag number signs over here. So each category is kind of like a file folder for a topic. And then inside each category is a channel where it's this community focused, where you get to share your projects and ask questions, ask for pattern recommendations, talk about your wins, ask for help with the project. That's all the stuff that happens in this group. So there's a bunch of different spaces to do that in. I have it divided by craft. So there's a knitting corner and a spinning zone. There's a spot to show off your crochet projects. There's an All the Pets channel, which is always quite active with pictures of everybody's cats and dogs and the occasional hedgehog. Studio updates is this section here, especially the studio updates, the announcements category right here. That gets the most updated information out of any of the platforms, out of Instagram, out of my email list. My email list is great. I send it out twice a month. If you want to know exactly when everything goes live and exactly when you can purchase something, or when I'm going to be at events like this, stuff like that, that's in announcements. So, and it gets every single little update. And you won't miss it, because I feel like the reason I've started this Discord server is because I was finding on Instagram that both from the people who I follow and from the people who follow me, that it was becoming increasingly harder to kind of see things and to make sure that you don't miss anything. And so if you want to make sure to keep posted with what's going on, this is the space to be. There's a spot where you get to post if you have anything that you want to see in a future shop update. If there's a colorway that I haven't dyed in a while and you really want it, you can post that. You can put it in the shop update requests, and I view every single message that goes through there and incorporate those requests when I plan my shop updates. Same thing with behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, you get like whenever something new and cool happens in my studio space, it goes in behind the scenes, and the people in Discord are the first to know. So I know I've talked a lot about that, but there's one last aspect of Discord that I want to share with you, and it is a knit along that's running very soon. So it kind of happened organically. We realized in the Knitting Corner Crafting Circle channel that a bunch of the people who are in this group wanted to make the joy mittens. this is how you sign up. So I'll talk more about the cowl in a second. If you want to sign up to Discord, because this is a good spot to talk about that, that's why I put the slide in. It's always available on the homepage of my website under Keep in Touch. There's a link that says join the community. I'm going to circle it right there for you. That'll take you to the Discord server, and it's super easy to access it from that link. It's also where my email sign up is. So my email list is also a really great place. I like to think of it as Discord is the most frequent updates and the most, like you'll get every single kind of update that happens. And there you get to participate in this whole community that's a lot more in touch and closer to interact with than on Instagram. I feel like it's a lot more personal than on Instagram. So Discord is the place to be for most frequent updates. My email list is a great place if you want to know every couple weeks kind of what's going on, what's coming. Also a great place to be. I also post this information on Instagram, but it's more frequently posted in my email list and in the Discord server. So that's kind of how to get in touch with me. I'm always happy to chat about color and yarn and everything and fiber. So like feel free to email me anytime with any of your questions or any of your requests or your feedback, because I really value hearing those responses. I really value hearing from you. And yeah, so we're going to shift gears for a second. We're going to talk a little bit about the knit along that's currently happening in the Discord server. So like I said before, this kind of organically came together and has turned into a full-fledged little knit along. So it's only happening in the Discord server. We're making the Joy Mitts. So the Joy Mitts is a pattern by Ysolda Teague, and it's super cute. So a whole bunch of us wanted to make this. So what's happening is there's all of the information for it can be found in that server. There's a section for flag requests. So because this pattern uses just small amounts of yarn for the contrast colors, I'm going to put together some little kits for it that are going to be in a Discord exclusive shop. So they won't be available to the public. So this is if this is something that you're interested in, then please join the server so that you can participate. The deadline for flag requests is Monday. So if you want a specific flag, it's just so that everybody can access the pride flag that they want to make without having to buy full skeins of yarn just to use a tiny little portion. So that's there. There's a whole channel just to chat about the cowl. There are prizes. There are 4 different prizes. And for me, a big part of this was I wanted to make sure that I was supporting other queer businesses as well through the prizes for this cowl. So there's one of them, I think, is a gift card to Bisexual, which is a local yarn store in Toronto, queer-owned and trans-owned yarn store. One of the prizes is a skein of Amaranth fibers in Pride Was a Riot is one of the prizes for the cowl. And there are some coupons and things, and I think there's a braid of fiber. Most of the prizes are based just on if you start. So if you cast on, if you post your cast on photo in between November 15th to December 15th. So there's kind of a couple weeks for you to get your yarn together, a couple weeks for you to start your project, and then about a month to finish the project. And if you don't finish, most of the prizes are focused around starting it and posting it in progress pictures so that everybody gets to participate. There's also in here, as part of the cowl, because this is such a pride focused pattern, I've added this spotlight channel so that it's a place to share other dyers who are part of the LGBTQ community, yarn stores, community members, fiber artists. That's a spot in there too. So yeah, if you want to participate with that, the only way to participate is on Discord. It'll be pretty fun. Please feel free to join me over there. So one last thing I want to share with you that's a little behind the scenes look that nobody except for the people on Discord have seen yet. You're the first people. I haven't posted this on Instagram yet, so you are the first to see it, is a new yarn that I just received it. I took this photo yesterday at about 5 o'clock Eastern time. So it's brand new. I just unboxed it. It is a non-superwash tweed base. So it is 100%, not 100%. sorry, it's 90% non-superwash merino wool that's all entirely farmed in Oregon in the States. So it's responsibly farmed, fully traceable, untreated, really, really soft, gorgeously spun. So I'm really excited. I haven't even had the chance to dye it yet because it literally just arrived yesterday, but it is so squishy. It's got a really great twist to it. So that is something that if you, I don't have it available on my site right now. This is more of it I'm showing on my screen over here. Yeah, it's not available in my shop right now because it just arrived. But if you want to keep tabs on when stuff like this is going to be available, definitely my email list and Discord are the best places to see that, to find out when stuff like that's going to be here. So yeah, I'm really excited for this yarn. So I hope you are too. Yeah, I thought it would be cool to give you all a very first kind of intro look behind the scenes at what's going on with that. Yeah. So, all right. I'm going to take another couple minutes. If anybody has any questions about any of the stuff that I've just talked about, now is an excellent time. I also want to do a little shop tour, but feel free, let me know if you have any questions before we move on. So yeah, this space is so exciting. Hello, Christine. It's gorgeous. Like I said, I'm really excited to dye it, and I will be sharing the process on everywhere. It'll be on social media, but like I said, if you want to make sure that you don't miss out on this, then if you join me on Discord, then you'll be able to see the behind the scenes process of like my first thoughts while dyeing it and swatching it up. And you'll see when exactly it's available. That's an excellent question. So Annie is just asking, if nylon is the other 10%? It's rayon neps. So the neps are rayon, and it's 10% neps and 90% non-merino. So Janet is just asking if I can review how to sign up to Discord, which I absolutely can. I'll show you that from my website though. And we'll start the shop tour there. So, okay. This is my website. My website is emilycgillies.ca. Almost any variation will redirect you back to this domain. So, to access Discord, to sign up to Discord, this is the homepage of my website here. You'll find right under Keep in Touch, there's a button called Join the Community. Click that button and it takes you to the welcome page for the Discord server. So I don't know if you can see that part of my screen because I know Discord and Zoom only shares you one screen app at a time, I think. So you'll see this screen and it'll take you to the Discord app, or if you don't have the Discord app already, it will allow you to continue in the web version on your browser. So it's just this button right here. Also conveniently right beside where the sign up for my email list is. It's right under there. Okay. So yes, Donna, I think that they're a great way to do the Joy Cal would be excellent at Christmas gift knitting. So let me just review the questions. I'm just going to take 1 second in the chat to kind of read through your questions. So Rebecca is asking if it's best to access Discord from your phone. I use it almost exclusively from my computer. I prefer the computer app, the desktop app, over my phone app. Both apps are very user-friendly. So it's pretty easy to access either way. I'm definitely partial to the desktop app. It's got some really cool features to it. I post any spoiler pictures there and stuff like that, and it has a little spoiler tag so you don't accidentally see something that you don't want to see for when I'm doing a yarn reveal or showing behind the scenes stuff like that. It's often, that is the group where if I have a question about something I'm thinking of adding to the shop, or if I have a question about if I'm looking for feedback on something, that's where I ask. So if you ever have something that you want to share with me, like by all means, please send me an email if you have any feedback whatsoever. But just so you know, that's a lot of that conversation happens in the Discord group. A really good example of that is I now offer vacuum packed untracked letter mail shipping for a $5 flat rate on orders weighing less than 300 grams. So if you're buying a mini set, or if you're buying just a couple skeins of yarn or a couple braids of fiber, you can have it shipped to you for $5 within Canada, which I think as shipping rates become increasingly expensive, that's something that I've added to try and keep the cost of them a little bit more accessible. The main reason why I decided to add that is because people were requesting it in Discord. So if you have an opinion you want to share, that's the place to share it. So Tiffany's just saying that she uses it through the phone app, and it also works great. So I think that it is quite user-friendly on both. Okay, one with the shop tour. So I want to show you kind of my shop tour from my website, because I feel like that's how you're going to view it. And I can absolutely show you stuff that's behind me too. But I just find that the website viewing is more user accessible, and you can see the photos better, and you can kind of see the yarn better than if I'm holding it up to my laptop webcam. So couple things to show you here. Luck of the draw. It's available early just for you, just for Fibre Love Affair. So it is an exploration it is an exploration in color. I'm really excited for it. The past months of it are here. So these are the past months of luck of the draw. So this is July and August, September. So September was absolutely a study in red, and October. Yeah, so that's available here. Okay, so the rest of my shop, except for luck of the draw, everything else is in stock. It's ready to ship. If you order something this weekend, it will be at the post office on Monday. So super quick turnaround there. There are some mini sets available. There's some non-superwash merino DK. I've added everything on my homepage of my site here just for you, so that it shows you everything that's currently in stock. So you can click view all, and it'll take you to show you everything all at the same time. New for this year, I have gift wrapping available. So gift wrap is new for this year. It looks like this. I can fit up to 3 braids of fiber or up to 5 skeins of yarn, of 115 gram yarn. If you have any questions about it, like I said, please feel free to email me. All of the details about gift wrapping can be found in the product description right here, and there's no cost to it. It's complimentary for any of your orders that are shipped with parcel shipping. For parcel shipping, this is like an insider tip behind the scenes. I offer a couple different rates. So you, for shipping on my website, there's $5 untracked letter mail, not available with gift wrap. Then there's parcel shipping that's tracked and offered in 2 different ways. So there's automatically calculated rates from Shopify. Those are generated based off your address at the checkout, and so they're priced. You pay exactly with the same cost that it costs for me to ship it, with the automatically calculated rates. I also have a $15 Canadian flat rate for shipping, so that you're only ever going to pay a maximum of $15 on shipping, regardless of what you order. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, gift wrap is new. It's exciting. Okay. I'm just going to give you a real quick overview to find some of the things on my site, because I feel like it's just good to know. So limited edition is right now mostly non-superwash merino DK, which is this space right over here. It's a squishy, super soft DK weight South American merino, so muslin free merino wool. And there's a bunch of colorways that are currently in stock for it. So that's under limited edition. The tweed that I showed you is going to be in the limited edition category once that's added and dyed. Under kits and sets, I have these thrummed mitt kits, which are just so perfect for this time of year. They make excellent, they're one of my favorite things to give as gifts. And so there are two different types of thrummed mitt kits. There are ones that have 1 skein of yarn and 50 grams of fiber, so enough to make 1 pair of mittens. And then there are also duo sets that include 100 grams of fiber and 2 skeins of BFO worsted, which is a non-superwash worsted weight yarn that I dye. It's with Blueface Leicester wool. It's one of my favorite fibers to work with, one of my favorite breed specific wools, because it's got some beautiful drape to it. It's got nice durability and it's still quite soft. This sweater that I'm wearing right now is knit in BFL. So each of these kits, each of these thrummed knit kits comes with its own little zine, like a little tiny booklet that includes a QR code to a list of different pattern suggestions. So it doesn't come with a pattern, but it does give you a list of patterns that are available for free and available directly from the designers. It includes some tips on how to divide up your fiber so that if you get a gradient like this, it has a little instruction book that says that it describes how to split up your braid of fiber so that you can have gradients, 4 gradients in each of your 4 mittens that this particular kit here would make. Yeah, it also has some thrum tips on how to make thrums and how to make kind of that soft inner lining. Yeah, they're kind of cool. I'm really excited about them. This one is in Equinox, is the colorway of the fiber. And the yarn is in Navy and Pavement on BFL worsted for this particular kit. This is a duo kit. So that's kind of new and exciting and in stock and ready to ship. There are some mini sets that are available. The bulk of my yarn is in the core collection. So that's where you'll find anything that's repeatable colorway. So this is kind of what's here. There's a sweater quantity. There are 7 skeins of this particular colorway in stock right now. So if it speaks to you, just know there's lots available. It's on Merino Sport, which is a sport weight superwash merino wool. It's what I like to think of as a stash staple. Really beautiful to work with. Cat's Eye is a semi-tonal colorway, so it functions best if you alternate skeins for it. There is quite a bit of variegation between the skeins, but it's all kind of within the same hue. Yeah, so also on my site, I have a bunch of fiber. I have it divided. I have my yarn. My website is all divided by yarn and fiber and clubs and tools. So fiber, there's all kinds of stuff in here. These are all, like I said, in stock, ready to ship. There's some South Down. There's actually quite a bit of South Down right now. If you are a spinner, South Down is supposed to naturally resist felting. So if that's something that you're interested in, there's quite a bit, and it should make excellent socks. It should be excellent for spinning a sock yarn. I've been spinning a little bit of it right now on a Turkish spindle, and it has this really unique crimp structure where the crimp is kind of all over the place. And so as you're spinning, it wants to naturally trap a bunch of air into that spin. And so you're getting this really warm yarn. It's not as soft as some other breed specific fibers, but it is quite lovely to work with. And it should make really durable, felting resistant non-superwash socks. So all of the fiber that's on my website right now is non-superwash, and there's a bunch of colorways. This one in particular, I think, is quite beautiful. It's on Wensleydale. It's got this like just really rich gradient that goes from really dark kind of purplish indigo blue up to like a pale blue in the center. Yeah, bats are also on here too. Bats are new. They're just a handful. They're actually right here behind me as well. You can see they're so squishy, so delectable, and there's just a few. Bats are something that I've only produced on a small scale, and so those are on my website, which is kind of exciting. And then another way to access my yarn clubs from my site is from underneath the clubs tab. where you have luck of the draw. That's also where you can find the previous month. So if you want to see photos of the previous months of the yarn clubs, it's available on the luck of the draw product page. Okay. Real quick overview of my tools section. I carry a selection of books, mostly books on spinning and fiber. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely take a look. I also have a limited supply of spindles. These are spindles that are from Mooseville Woodworks, so they're handcrafted in Fredericton. They're beautifully made. John McConnell is the woodworker who makes them, and he has just this wonderful taste of putting different types of wood together. And they're really beautifully crafted spindles. So there are a handful of those available right now. I also just added this product. This is a wraps per inch gauge that I actually designed and had laser cut at a local fabrications place in Toronto, so local to me, locally made. There's two ways you can use it. You can stick your yarn on top of those grooves to measure the wraps per inch. You can put them on top, you can put them underneath and kind of look at where the white lines, where the engraved lines match up. There's also a 1 inch cutout at the top so that you can measure it by wrapping it around the tool. So this is also new. If you order just this item, it will ship for free. It includes the shipping. If you order it with anything else, it doesn't add any weight to your shipment order. Yeah. So one last thing I want to show you on my website, and then I want to open up the floor to questions, and I want to see what you're making and talk a little bit about what you're working on right now. Before we do that, I just want to show you where you can find the list of stockists. So under here at the very bottom of every page on my website, under quick links, stockists is where you can find all 6 of my core collection yarns in all 29 of the current core collection colorways, or available between these stores. So Yarns Untangled is the one that was my first stockist. They're local to me. They're in Toronto. They have a very wide selection of merino sport and merino worsted. I think they have it right now on every single colorway that's currently available. So there's lots to shop there. Woolen Waves, I think Christine is in the chat right now. Christine is here right now, I'm pretty sure. Yes, Christina's wonderful. She's amazing to work with. She carries 4 of my bases in a wide variety of colorways. So you can find links. Any of these links that are here will take you directly to the stores. So that's a great place. You know that picture of yarn that I showed you at the beginning with all of those little squares of colors? These are the stores to buy that at. I have some of it on my site. I have usually a limited amount. If you're looking for sweater quantities and if you're looking for lots of colorways available at the same time, my stockists are absolutely the place to go. They are all fantastic. I really enjoy working with them. Highly recommend that if you can't find what you're looking for on my website, you hop on over to this page to view their store. So the newest one here is C-Spun. They just opened in September. So I think they've actually been open for about a month now. Very new. They've got some really lovely stuff. All right. So I think that's everything to show you on my website. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I want to open up the floor to questions. So please tell me what you're working on in the chat. I'd love to hear about your projects. I've also, if you have any questions about any of the things that I've shown you, or, you know, anything, any questions at all, please feel free to let me know now. Now is a great time. Yeah. Cindy's asking if I have any plans for US stockists. I do. I'm currently not taking any new stockist applications until January, but it is on my list of things I would like to have available in the future. Exporting yarn to the US is a little bit more complicated than selling it within Canada. So it's a bit more involved to figure out the process, but yes, it is a great. Tiffany, I want to see your jumpers. So Tiffany is working on Artie and Carlos mini Nordic jumpers advent calendar. I think that's going to be adorable. Oh, they're so cute. They're so adorable. Are they going to turn into a little garland?
I'm not sure. I started with one to see how long it takes me, because of course It's fun and all, but I have lots of stuff I'd like to do. So I think I'm on about a 4-hour knit. So I was just finishing it off now. So I might proceed. I figure that means almost one a day for December, or one every 2 days, but go into December. So we'll see.
They're adorable.
They are fun. They are fun. An alternative to the ornaments.
Hmm.
What size needles are you using?
So yeah, that's another thing. I might go down a size just to make it smaller because I like everything small. But the intention is you close off the bottom and you're actually supposed to stick stuff in it. So
Oh, like a little pocket to put like
yeah,
little candy in or something as an
yeah,
advent calendar.
yeah.
Very cool.
So 3.5 millimeter for the body, and then the cuffs and all that is 3. So yeah, it's very respectable size. So so now I have to think of stuff to put in it. That's the other problem.
Well, I imagine finding stuff that fits into the neck holes is also going to be a challenge, and then so that you can put it in and then take it out again in a
Yeah,
easily
yeah.
accessible
So
way. Yeah.
yeah, sorry, Emily. They have a turtleneck version, like so that's what it's going to be, and it's quite stretchy. So you could probably put something fairly big in it. Oh, and I'm making it out of Briggs and Little because of course
That's one of my favorite yarns to work with.
I know it's
I
very
really
affordable
like
for these kind of crafts.
it's one of my favorites. I find I really like a good woolly wool.
Yeah.
So that's a great one, and that's a great Canadian company.
Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
Briggs and Little, for anyone who doesn't know, is Canada's oldest woolen mill. So I've actually been to their mill before. I did a tour a few years ago when I was out there in early 2019. I feel like that was the last trip that I went on. Yeah, so they do some really cool stuff. I have a hat that I could show you. I don't have any projects on the go right now because I've been working on a spin for a sweater. So I haven't been doing any knitting, but I do have this hat that I don't think I've taken pictures of yet, so I don't think anybody's seen it. This is a hand spun hat knit with Corriedale wool in the colorway Soulless. So Soulless is quite a popular colorway. It's in my shop right now on Southdown. I often have it on different fibers. So if it's something that you're interested in and you don't like Southdown, it'll be back. Follow me on social media and add on my email list, and you'll know when it's back. Yeah, this is a fractal. This was my second or first fractal spin. I don't remember, but this is the Musselburgh hat by Isolde Teague. It's one of my favorite easy knitting hats because there's no swatching involved. You just kind of start it and then you measure it when you get to a certain point, and you just keep knitting based off of your gauge. So that's, you can kind of see how this yarn spun up and how it knit up. So spinning has been a rabbit hole that I have thoroughly fallen down over the past year. So for me, in my dyeing process, I really like efficiency, and I like creating systems for hand dyed products that make it like I want to make beautiful colorways, but I also want to do it in a way that makes sense, in a way that's efficient, in a way that I can have a sustainable workflow. And so for me, one of the things that's been really exciting in the past year is figuring out how to dye fiber in a way that gives me repeatable colorways or semi-repeatable colorways that are vibrant and have variety to them across a range of different tones. And yeah, that showcase color in a different way. So it's an entirely new way to play with color. It's a new way to play with dyeing it for you on a different scale and experimenting with scale, and making sure that if you ever want to spin a sweater quantity, I can dye that up for you. That's available. Often I have things available in multiples. And so I know it can sometimes be hard to find, especially with hand dyed fiber, but that's something that I have. Any colorway that I have in stock, unless it's listed as one of a kind on my website, there are probably at least 4 of them. Often for things that are more popular, when I add them to my shop updates, which there's up to 8 sometimes more of the same colorway on braids of fiber. So if it's something you're interested in, definitely give me a follow. I don't have any sweater quantities of fiber available right now, but it is something that I do have typically about once a month. So definitely let me know. So Melanie's asking how long I've been spinning for. I started spinning in January of 2021. I bought a wheel in May. Yeah, I've been spinning since then. I've been definitely investing a lot of time in that lately. And Rebecca's asking if this is a top-down hat. So it's kind of, it starts top down and then you knit it until the halfway point, you keep knitting, and then you do the same sort of pattern on the same rate that you increased on one side, decrease on the other side. So it's kind of top down and bottom up at the same time. Rebecca's also asking if I take custom orders for fiber for sweater quantities. I don't at this time, but if you have a request and you put it in the shop update requests in my Discord server, then I will make sure to add that into my list of things to dye. I'll add it into my production schedule and I'll let you know when it's available. But I do, so yeah, I don't dye to order things very often anymore just because it's a very time intensive process, and it's unfortunately I'm not able to offer dye to order yarn or fiber very often. But I absolutely do take, if someone has a request for something, I try and make it as accessible as possible for you to request that item, and so that I can add it into my production schedule and let you know when it'll be available. Yeah. Yes, if you've caught the spinning drug, let me know. Put it in the chat. It's I feel like a lot of people have picked it up as a new pandemic hobby. I definitely didn't need a new hobby, but it is a new hobby. So I classify spinning as a hobby, knitting as a hobby, dyeing as work. Like, this is my business and my job, but everything else I do for fun. So it's definitely been an adventure, and yeah. But absolutely, when it comes to dyeing, one of the most satisfying and rewarding things is to be able to see what you make with all of the yarn and fiber they do. I see, like, spinning, I've been dyeing fiber since April and offering it for sale since April. And I'm just starting now to see projects where people have spun the yarn for the fiber and then posted the project on Instagram, and it is so cool. It's not something I feel like it took a few months for those to start popping up, because I feel like if there are more, there's all kinds of projects. If you want to see stuff that other people have made with the yarn that I dye, if you're able to access Ravelry, there's a list under, I'm on Ravelry, my yarn page is on Ravelry, and you can see the projects for each yarn base, and you can see what other people have created and what other people have made. It's very cool in my opinion. Yeah. Yes, lots of people in the chat are saying that they have also taken up spinning recently. And yes, and someone is saying in the chat too that diving down the spin it rabbit hole during the pandemic has been such a calming and hobby. I think that's I was debating I did quite a bit of research for a few months before buying my spinning wheel. And when I was going through that process, I kind of was debating between, do I get an e-spinner? Do I spring for a wheel? What kind of e-spinner do I want? Do I want to get something larger or smaller? And there's so many questions. And I decided to go with the treadle wheel, and I'm so glad I did, because there's something about my feet doing something different than my hands that is just a really calming, satisfying experience. So I hope that other people get to experience that too. If you're looking to learn how to spin, I absolutely recommend the School of Sweet Georgia. That's a monthly membership program. There is a huge variety of different spinning classes, from absolute beginner up into things that are more intensive. So I don't know if there are in-person classes at Sweet Georgia for this time, during this time, but their School of Sweet Georgia online is very well put together. If you're looking to learn how to spin. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely feel like I haven't been doing a ton of knitting lately, but I do have some projects that I can show you. I have pictures of projects that I can show you. I think we have 10 minutes. So I'll show you those real quick and you can let me know. Okay. So people in the chat are saying that Speech Georgia just opened up their in-person classes for spinning in November, or they're opening them up in November, which is exciting, but you should definitely check their website for more information on that. I highly recommend their online classes. In terms of knitting, because I feel like I definitely am on the side, I tend to talk about Fibre a lot right now because for me, that's the new exciting thing. And before we go, I do want to show you a couple pictures of projects made in the yarn that I dyed. So this is in BFL Sport, which has excellent stitch definitions. If you're looking for a sweater yarn, this is my ideal sweater yarn. It's just it's got the stitch definition, it's got some sheen to it, it's got that luster, it's a long wool. I've had this cowl, I made it. This is one of the first projects that I made with BFL Sport. I made this before I started offering it as a base I started carrying it in 2020, early 2020. This was the project that I made to kind of sample it beforehand. And so I've had it for more than a year and I wear it all the time and it still looks exactly how it does in this photo. It's like, it hasn't peeled at all. It's even though it's worn around my neck, it's quite durable. Oh, I have a sweater in here. Okay, this is the Forest Land sweater. It was a test knit I did about a year ago for Jennifer Steingast. This is in merino worsted in the colorways Velvet Underground, which is that purplish black color, and Latte. So it's a pretty sweater. Merino worsted is a superwash 4-ply merino base. It's made with wool that's responsibly wool standards certified, which means that it ensures that it's responsibly farmed from how the sheep are being cared for up into the labor processes behind how the wool is spun. So this is actually both of these bases right here. These are both bases that are milled in all of my 6 core collection bases. So all of the yarn that's currently available at my stockyards is spun in Canada. So it's all from, the merino comes from South America, from non-museling free, that's double negative, from museling free practices. So all of my wool is museling free and milled in Canada for these bases. Yeah, so I have one more project. I think I have one more project. I'm pretty sure this is the last one in my slide presentation. This is the Ursina by Jacqueline Cizak, and it's knit in cat's eye. So this yarn that I have 7 skeins of right now in stock on my website, this is the same, this is it knit up. So I'm a really big fan of yellow. I know a lot that yellow doesn't seem to be the most popular colorway of this, in the grand scheme of things, but for me, I'm a big fan of yellow. This is also probably a good time to mention that when I'm dyeing and developing colorways, something that I try to do is I don't dye colorways for me. And I say this all the time, that I don't dye color for me, I dye it for you. And I try to make sure that my palette is balanced and that it includes a variety of things for all tastes, because for me, it's about how they work together as a whole and how they interact together as a whole and how you can pair them together and how you can mix and match them together, and not so much about me liking yellow. But I do, cat's eye was actually one of my second colorways that I ever developed. I didn't remember that until Facebook started reminding me that this is what I was doing 2 years ago. So yeah, that's a sweater knit in cat's eye on Merino Sport, one of the yarns that is currently available in a sweater quantity on my site right now. So I think we have 5 minutes left. So if you have, I'm going to read through the chat. If you have any questions, please pop them in the chat now, because we have 5 minutes left and I'm more than happy to answer them. If you have any questions after this, please feel free to send me an email. My email, I will put it in the chat right now. My email is hello@emilycgillies.ca. So please feel free, let me know anytime. Quartz is a mid-toned pink. This is quartz. So quartz, I think, is kind of in the middle. It's a little bit on the warm side potentially, but I try. It's a pretty neutral pink. Okay. Jackie is asking the Solus colorway on my website from the hat. It's not available on Cordell. It's Solus. It's spelled like that. Solus. It is available on South Down, which I'll pull up for you right now. It will be available in other colorways in the future, on other fibers. Sorry, it will be available in other fibers in the future. Why is it not linked there? Okay, I have one in my studio, so it is available. It's not showing up on my website, but I'll fix that as soon as we get off the Zoom call. And, okay, there's a question about $5 shipping. So $5 shipping, it is up to 300 grams. So my skeins of yarn are 115 grams each. So you can ship 2 skeins of yarn in a vacuum packed mailer, or up to 3 braids of fiber. So my fiber is 100 grams. And yarn is 115. Yeah. So I think that answers everyone's questions. Quartz with Susexy. I don't think I have those behind me to show you. Okay, these are on different fibers. So different fibers take color slightly differently. So for demonstration effect, this is Susexy on non-superwash merino decay, and this is quartz on merino sock. So Donna, those 2 colors together, that's kind of a better visual. I also think that latte, which is kind of a warm taupe kind of color, would work really well with those. Or Nimbus, which is a cool gray. Those 3 would work really well too. Now again, those are on different types of fiber. Oh, wrong spot. Different fiber blends, so they do look a little bit different, but you should be able to find them at Bad Anna's would have all of those on BFL Sport. I think that Woolen Waves has most of those colorways in stock right now too, on BFL and on Merino Sock. Yeah. All right, we are almost out of time. So thank you again. Thank you so much for joining me here. Thank you for letting me take an hour of your morning and talk to you about yarn and fiber. So yeah, feel free if you want to hear more from me, if you want to hear when, get the most up-to-date information on shop updates, if you want to participate in the CAL, all of that kind of information, join Discord. Link is on my website under the join the community button. My word is color. If you want less frequent updates from me, but you still want to see when stuff like all of this delicious tweed, non-superwash tweed yarn is going to be available, sign up to my email list. For everything else, please follow me on social media. My handle on Instagram is Emily C. Gillies, which I just popped in the chat right now. Yeah, great. Have a wonderful day, everyone. And like I said, if you have questions at any time, please feel free to send me an email.